Yo! Welcome back to the third and hopefully a long series of streams. It is me, Mezzo, and got something really exciting tonight. We're off of the janky brews. We got the real deal. Courtesy of the M&R podcast, Michael has shared how he's been sideboarding his World Championship winning list. And so now we get to explore just how good this old boomer can take it to hopefully some winning performances on Talishar. We're going to be using the straight sideboarding that Michael described in that podcast episode. I'll make sure to link it in the description. It's not there now, but I'll add that to the VOD. This February deck list in particular was compiled courtesy of Underscore on the Fab community Discord. Big shout out to you. Thank you for doing that. It's a really valuable resource for the community to just have the sideboarding pre-programmed. I don't really want to ramble too long though. I think we'll just hop right into it. This is the exact same AD that Michael played at the World Championship. No real big surprises. Of note, Wounded Bull, as kind of the bully name is named after. The Heart of Fyendal, only 2 epots, which has kind of become the standard, I think. Only 2 Hypothermia. I think this deck building choice may change going into the Dynasty meta, because Dash is becoming such a prominent threat that I'm worried about or interested in teching a little bit harder for that matchup in order to try to make us a bit more prepared for the field that we expect, not the field that was expected at the World Championship. I don't see this list changing It's not my list, but this is how I've been building it personally. I don't see this list changing too much beyond that third hypothermia going into the Dynasty season for ProQuest Season 3. But, none of us were expecting this bully list either, so I can't wait to see what Michael comes up with and shocks the world with at the Indie Calling. I am incredibly excited for that calling, by the way. I know Worlds was just a month ago, but I've been itching for some another big event. I feel like I was really happy with my performance there. I wish there was more CC, and that's exactly what Indie is going to give us. So it's going to be exciting. It's a surprisingly long wait. Did I make a private game on accident? Nope. Let's just go ahead and try to join a public game. Straight into the mirror, alright. Well, because we're using a Fabry list, we can just click and immediately be sideboarded. Michael taking out blizzards because they're not really going to hit. Oh, cool to see you in the chat. 3 hypo almost certainly going to be a thing going forward. Yeah, it just makes sense, I think. Glad to see that y'all agree. Scars against Ice Hero is terrible because, Iyslander gives us 1 Frostbite, and then that Scar is like a liability, in that we're having to pitch for things we didn't want to on our turn. Sink Belows can be troublesome if our opponent isn't on a decent number of attack actions. They're also just not impressive in this matchup where there's arcane damage, like a blue block 3 is almost as efficient. And then 1 hypo because there's just not a better cut to make. Our opponent taking a while to decide how to side. Let's check on stream health. Good. Alright, have I disconnected or have they? Am I really having internet issues now? Did I join my own game I made earlier? If I did, that's impressive. I definitely noticed some issues with Talishar like right before we started. Hopefully it's gonna, work with me here and let me get some games in. Public. Make a game. Come on, Talishar, cooperate. There we go. Viserai. Looks like I am having internet issues, unfortunately. Oh man. Yeah. Can I get anything to work on this page? Yeah. Oh, so it's just a matter of citing being not down to 60, I guess. I think there was a bit of ambiguity on this matchup in the podcast episode, but also looks like our opponent is disconnected, probably because I'm having internet issues. Let's try once more. Sorry for the rough start here, guys. Okay, we can do Dromai. This one's going to be interesting because I definitely have been in the Coronet Peak camp as far as which headpiece to play against Dromai, but I'm not opposed to trying Providence. I just know that I really like that single card keep CLF after playing it on their turn. Let me try to close out some applications and hopefully funnel more resources towards Talishar. Alright, sideboarding ready. Just taking out a bunch of the no blocks, do nothing cards. Let's see how it goes. It's a pretty reasonable start. Opponent on Royal Dromai, interesting. Also on Billowing, I feel like that's not a card. That's fair, Alex, yeah. I guess getting free ash is something we don't really want to do. Billowing isn't a card I've seen a lot of Dromais play recently. They're also playing Footsteps. Alright, this is a funky brew. Yeah, no AB is interesting, Justin. I feel like there's two... I hate blocking with this popper already. These cards are both so good. It's just the most efficient thing we can do here. I feel like there's two main like camps in the Dromai siding for wizards. They either bring 0 AB and just try to like race as hard as possible, or they bring AB2 with the Crown of Reflection and Northern Gloves and play a little bit slower game. Interesting. This may be just sandbagging the bull as a popper. This disrupts. Obviously want to arsenal this card. Yeah, I think we may just not be able to use all 4 cards here. Oh, nope, and I can turn that off in fact. That's what I was just thinking. I don't know if that's Roger or Michael I'm talking to. Channel Lake actually probably not the bet that they're pitching to Saints. Channel Lake probably not the most relevant right now. Yeah, because Alex, they're probably playing cash-ins. I would take a guess is why they didn't pop gold turn 0. But like I was saying, when they don't have a board state, Channel Lake not doing as much as it could do early in the second cycle. So I think you're right, chat. It makes a lot of sense to pitch it and try to seed it early in the second cycle. This turn cycle looks like it's going to be blocked with 2 cards for red. Man, I would love to give them a frostbite, but this is an awkward hand. If we wanted to hex kill for the end of the game, I don't think I'm playing versus Mark. He usually plays snaps into Icelanders. But we have 3 of our combo kill pieces if we want to hex kill. Our opponent has no dragons. Arsenal Frosting doesn't seem very enticing. It may be the hex after we just attack with Bull. Blocking with one of these. It's like 2 Ice Eternals in the same hand. Not super relevant second cycle. What else is our opponent going to do this turn? Like maybe a Blaze Headlong? This is probably as efficient as our blocks get. Arsenal Frost's greedy, but also it's early. And our opponent has no board. We can afford like 1 low disruption turn cycle. Or they're just making an ash. They did have a blaze, they chose not to play it. That seems wrong. Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna guess they're not on cash-in then. So this only comes in for 7, but we couldn't have used the other cards in our hand anyways, unless we just like played an Ice Eternal X equals 3 plus Wand. I don't know. It's only like 5-ish arcane damage. Blocking with Kyloria, alright, well, this may just be like Talishar, being Talishar. Kyloria block is so sus here. Oh, excuse me, I'm not full screen. There we go. Alright, hand kind of plays itself. This is just play Hex, fuse this Ice Fang, arsenal the cheap damage card. Not super interested in blocking this. I guess we give Frostbite here to stop the Centipie follow-up. The Ember Maw. Like, they're clearly on weird cards. Yeah, that maybe makes sense. Frost Hex. What card are we getting? Discarding red rake, huh? When you have AB1. Not super sure what our opponent is doing, to be honest. Pitching Kyloria again. Alright, well, I'm gonna feel real bad if we don't get there with this one. I'm gonna be honest. With 0 floating, if we play Hail Now, it forces them to pitch their last card in hand. Arsling Hypo, not great here when all they have is an Ashwing on board. And then we can fuse another Ice Fiend on our turn with our opponent only at AB1. I kind of like it. No Furnace is good for us. We are 9 life up right now. We are 4 life up right now. Seems pretty decent. Okay. Not sure our opponent super knows how to play against Iyslander. Would have liked to had a damage red in that hand, but we'll work with what we got. Blue Ice Vein is still an Ice Vein when your opponent only has AB1. Just getting rid of all the good cards, man. Just making our job easy. Man, another hand that just doesn't really do anything. It's kind of sad. There's a good card. There is a good card that we have to answer. See, we're 3 Ice Veins down. We just pitched a 4th out of 7. Yeah, Hail kills it. The issue is we don't really have a good thing to do on our turn. It's like, I don't know, we want to arsenal this Cold Snap. It's our most impactful card. Is our turn just play Hex or Chill? I don't like Chill, because more than half our Ice Veins are in second cycle or the yard. So I guess it's Hex, because we don't have a Coronet outlet. Regardless, we're not blocking this. Yeah, I tend to agree that playing Hex is probably just what's going to end up happening here, Justin. Did our opponent forget that killing the dragon gave them a frostbite? Hey, now we're in trouble. Can't do anything about this one. It's actually really unfortunate, because we have nothing in this hand that can kill it straight up. Maybe that was supposed to be a Providence Sink to try to dig for an impactful card. Well, we missed it. No take backsies. Enjoy that, opponent. Because we're probably going to get clobbered for a bunch of damage next turn. Hopefully they do something that will present us with an opportunity to cold snap their Dromai before they attack. Like that. Burn them all. Hey, welcome, Sergey. Burn them all. Pretty damn underwhelming in this matchup. I guess there's a few reds in graveyard, but not a lot. We're definitely going to pounce on this opportunity. to cold snap that Dromai. We've pitched or blocked with all Kylorias, so not worried about covering on hits with that Brothers. Let's try to dig for another blue, I guess. That's another blue, all right. Oh my god, they let me freeze. Cool. Kind of makes me worried about what they have for their turn, but maybe they're just quad red. Alright, Dragon's getting a little out of control, but we're pretty high up on life. To the point where I mostly just want to push damage right now. Still only have AB1 plus Quell 1. Interestingly, we don't have a great arsenal target this hand, but it might just be like E-Strike into Ice Vein unfused. It's 9 damage, plus 3 on this turn, and then they're like really in danger of dying at any moment. I guess though, blizzarding this attack makes a frostbite. They need a blue in hand to keep having a turn, and the frostbite would deal 2. And then our turn can be like E-Strike for 7, Arsenal either Blizzard or the yellow Ice Vein. Probably Blizzard, so we have a way to interact on their turn? Question mark? No, Blizzard not very good with Dromai. I don't hate it. I don't hate this specifically because it makes another frostbite. Lost and can't go again, sweet. There's definitely an argument to try to kill the Dromai, or to kill the Dromai with E-Strike, but I think when our opponent is at 15, just, you know, threatening half their life with an E-Strike is where I want to be more so, I think. Two Arcane goes their way. They didn't pay, so they probably just have a red. Or they're just keeping the card? Cool. Yeah. Definitely want to threaten them now. We can also crown away this yellow Ice Vein. This might be a bit greedy, but I don't think we can die from 20 next turn. Back up to 16, huh? Pretty good. This is interesting. Um, well, they showed us that they have the red Cenopai. We have double popper. We have Chromai. So it's actually like fine for us, right? We didn't draw any ice card to fuse that yellow ice vein, but we can just present 4 and then Arsenal and Emeritus. So this Chromai is getting popped for sure. Well, I know what we're doing now. We probably can't use all 4 cards in hand if 4, 15. I can't turn on Wounded Bull. If we just block like this, we sink the Ice Vein, draw a new card, hope it's a blue. Or we get a little greedy. Save more life. For sure can play the Wounded Bull. If we draw another blue, we get to Arsenal the Emeritus. Seems fine. Nailed it. So our opponent has no arsenal. We're gonna throw at least, what, 14 at them this turn cycle? They're at 12. It's looking pretty good for us. They finally remembered that they're allowed to block with Furnace. It's good. Happy to see Thamai not going on the board. Also, haven't seen a ton of blues from this deck, so I'm not sure that they're really equipped to play it against us very efficiently. Oof, we draw no cards to Strider in. We can E-Strike in a Fighting Spirit if they don't threaten lethal this turn. And then with the Emeritus still in Arsenal, speak of the Blue Devil. It looks like we're just gonna present a bunch of damage on our turn. Let's see, we have 2 float. They've shown us they have Cenopais. So like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's not lethal. I'm inclined to no block this turn. Ice Eternal also okay, interesting. I was trying to say Ice Eternal is a cute play to like a potential arsenal. These both do 7 when we're higher life. We're going to protect this Emeritus. So, just going to block 6, go to the next turn cycle because we didn't draw strider targets. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just don't have the resources in hand to like strider in the Ice Eternal for the kill, right? Three, 4. Yeah, just no way. Alright, let's try doing next turn cycle. The fact that they didn't attack with any dragons this turn was wild. I guess they're worried about frostbites. Felt like they were getting away with something. I don't know. There's a lot of value they just got out of burn them all that last turn. Losing 2 cards out of the yard for no reason. 3 cards. These Themais definitely would have been a pain earlier in the game. It's kind of unfortunate how late they're drawing them. I mean, it's good for us, let's be clear. With 2 hexes was dead though, no? Is my math bad? So the issue was, the only way to make frostbites in that hand, Alex, was to play out the Ice Eternal. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could have done like x equals 2, but that's only 4 damage from it. I don't think we had lethal that turn. Maybe I just missed it though. We definitely have lethal here though. Hail is actually 1 for 4 with 2 hexes. We have 8 resources available. Oh, they're so dead. Oh, oh, oh. Hold on. That's an overkill by 4. I'm not super impressed with Royal Dromai in this matchup. I think it might have some play against like aggro decks that you have to high roll to just play the like 1 cash in. Can I? Nope, that's still not working. I'm still of the opinion that Dromai is meant to be playing Arcane Barrier 2 into basically every wizard that they see. This is a suspiciously small number of Talishar games. I'm wondering if this news about network tests is making issues. Excuse me. We got 1 down. I've been playing this list for a few weeks now. It's really interesting because it's like essentially only 9 cards different. 11 after the equipment. It's very similar to what I brought to Worlds. It's basically like a philosophy difference in the reds. Michael clearly valuing just like maximum efficiency out of those attack actions, whereas I was looking for more strider targets with the red arcane, which is like kind of pseudo unblockable because some of it is trying to go over your opponent's arcane barrier. But that philosophy difference with just those 9 cards really makes the decks feel very different, I found. Because you kind of center your turn cycles around, like, I am going to play this Wounded Bull, so how is that influencing how I'm blocking with my other cards and stuff, instead of, I might play this Red Ice Bolt, it just depends. Deck definitely feels powerful. I'm probably going to play something like this in ProQuest Season 3. It's interesting. It's, yeah, it just fascinates me how different decks could feel with like a 9 card choice difference. Let me make sure that there's no like Talishar announcements. Are we gonna go again? Looks like it might just be a slow night for Talishar. Let's double check. Our opponent thinking for a while about sideboarding and going first or second. This may be the player that we just played last game. Happy to run it back, but hopefully we can get at least some varying matchups later in the stream. And maybe, yeah, looks like the same Dromai we played, and maybe against some players that like value getting Kyloria and Miradai down, because I definitely think they make the matchup a lot harder on us. Stream is healthy. Attacking with a blue Dunebreaker to get some free Ash, pitching one of their best cards when they start with AB0. Brain Freeze doesn't do a lot in this matchup. Pretty happy to block with it. Oh my god, they drew double red Rake and they're not arsenaling or playing them. So we want to block. We don't need all 3 hexes. We only have 7 Ice Veins and our opponent has AB0. Yeah, I'm not super impressed with the choices here either, Alex. Definitely feel like I guess I can't pitch to Furnace because they hadn't played a red yet. Mirage. I get the attack action set up. It probably averages higher overall, but I feel since we went all efficiency, we're missing answers that used to give us more edge in other aggro matchups. Oh, okay. This hand looks very similar to what we did last stream, which is to use every card in it, we're going to have to play this Ice Vein and end up arsenaling the Wounded Bull. I think we have basically the same number of answers that we did. Oh, okay, I just got news that logging into Talishar and stuff should be fixed, so maybe we can get back in the competitive queue after this game. So less interesting choices on the way, hopefully. Yeah, because definitely don't feel like this is a remembrance matchup for Dromai. Sorry, back to what you were saying, Mirage. I think that we basically have the same number of answers, right? Like, Red Bolt doesn't shut down Phi, just like, Fyendal's Fighting Spirit doesn't shut down Phi. Here's something that does shut us down, but if they're dumb enough to swing it, we have a great answer in hand. Nope. Oh. They're thinking about it real hard. Nope, it is our turn. That is unfortunate. So we really want to kill Thamai. But we're higher life, so the first star doesn't have go again, which is awkward. In that case, you'll have just no go again attacks in hand. The opponent has no Ash Wings. So there's not even much disruption we can do on their turn. This kind of sucks, but we may just be sending Star at the Mai. It doesn't kind of suck, it really sucks. It's a bummer that we just had didn't have a blue in Arsenal last turn because we could have snuck damage through. Oh, I see what you mean, Mirage. Like, actually, the larger trend to move away from the disruptive reds. Yeah, Red Incarceration is an interesting card. I could see revisiting it as like a 1 or 2 of again if really degenerate aggro decks start popping up. But like, even Phi, now that they're on the belittles, I don't know that it's doing enough. Winter's Bite, one of my pet cards. I'm looking for any excuse to put that card back in the deck, but it's not here yet, unfortunately. The excuse isn't. Block 3 is just slightly too valuable. I think we're waiting on our opponent to pass priority on the turn. I like the spirit of it, Mirage. At some point I need to revisit Permafrost, and not in like a Wildfire context, but like in a deck that's designed to take advantage just of Permafrost, because it feels like the card's power ceiling is so high. It's just that at least how we used to be trying to build the decks, which like Iyslander deck building has changed so much in just what 6 months since she's been out ish, that really things don't look the same anymore. And I wonder if we should take kind of the lessons we've learned today and retroactively apply those to the Permafrost deck building. Maybe after the ProQuest season. I'm trying to like get focused on the AD I want to play for there, but I should probably make a note of revisiting Permafrost for a future stream. Our opponent may have disqueued at this point. DC'd, not DQ'd. think they didn't notice that they were waiting on them to pass the turn cycle. Oh, that's an awkward card for them to draw. Are they remembrancing back to mine? God, I wish we had a blue in Arsenal. It's okay. We're playing Iyslander with one hand tied behind our back. We'll still come back from this. It does look like I'm having internet issues. Unfortunate. Alright, one of us is disconnected. Says it's our opponent. If we don't get a resolution soon, I think we're probably just going to claim victory and shuffle up for the next game. We already played them in the previous round, and I don't think this game is going to turn out too differently based on some of their gameplay decisions. Alright, I am going to be right back. Looks like I'm still having issues with logging into Talishar. Let me talk to OOT about it. It's kind of a shame that these issues started like 10 minutes before I went live. I was really panicking that we might not be able to get to play any games at all tonight. Thankfully, as long as we're not logged in, it looks like we can still get at least a few example games in. Nope, it's not happening. We started the beta again. Hey, I can log in again. Awesome. Well, I thought I could log in again. Hold on, we're still having technical difficulties. I I'll be right back, chat. I'm sorry. Alright, long story short is, looks like Talishar is still having some issues, so we're gonna have to stay unlogged in, unfortunately. Sorry, Roger, the win rate isn't being improved. But we'll play this in future streams again, and I promise I will fix that for you. So we're going to just stay in public and keep jamming some games. Hopefully we can play someone that isn't Dromai. Actually, let's try to join this game. We got sniped. Okay. I'm not brave enough to say no Dromai, please. If it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens, was what I was trying to say there. James got the jams. Thank you, Alex. Shout out to YouTube's free music library. Still trying to find what I really enjoy for like channel background music. I just grabbed the first few that I saw that weren't absolutely terrible and threw them up in like a background music playlist. Alright, we gotta do a little bit of manual sideboarding on this one. It only cuts down to 67. Let's see. Relevant. Blizzard, not the most impactful in this matchup with Spellbound Creepers, and it doesn't physically block. I could see cutting it, but we're going to try to leave it in. All of these cards are super good. Brain Freeze, questionable because it's like Mavrian Skies or bust. Like I said, I think you can play a band called Sleepy Fish if you like chill-fi music. That's a great recommendation, Max. I will for sure look them up. Foxtrot. Oh man, I'm getting all the music recommendations. Thank you guys. I should probably finish sideboarding first. Hype. Don't like E-pots for sure. Man, we gotta make 5 cuts still. You know, if they're combo Viserai, maybe we don't want like Ice Eternal Hex kill. Like if they're combo Viserai, we want Ice Eternal Hex kills. Outside of that, probably not the most relevant thing. So maybe like we make cuts like this, and we get terribly punished because we don't have scours or a way to kill them late in the game. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. This feels wrong. I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe 2 creepers. This is a wrong choice. Absolutely should be playing Tunic. I don't think you can race me fast enough for Ironweave to ever outvalue Tunic. Okay, so they draw a blue Spellblade Assault. We will stop the damage. Well, these are all good cards. We will stop the damage. Get a free counter, turn 0. I like it. Yeah, unfortunately it does not look like the combo Viserai that we make best was showing off. Alright, so I just have to block 4 on this. Probably want to keep, you know, one of our most impactful cards. I hate blocking with Chill when it's this early. But I do like Channel 8 Frigid just a teeny country mile bit better. Oh, cool. We do still get to have a Chill. I'm gonna set this up since we have 6 Ice Veins left in the deck. We can throw 2 arcane damage at them because we have nothing better to do with these cards in hand. And then on their turn, we'll probably pitch a blue to Channel Lake Frigid plus stop a rune chant, and then we'll have the second Oblivion counter to send Moon. Then who knows what we're going to do with the other 3 cards in hand. Look at our opponent just taking the arcane, thinking they're going to have a real turn. This is super awkward, because we didn't draw any ice cards. So playing this Channel Lake Frigid is pretty terrible. We may just be blocking 6 and then sending a Fighting Spirit back at them. It's going to be a pretty painful turn. Or they're just setting up chance. Or our opponent is just setting up rune chants. Interesting. Maybe this is combo Viserai. Just with different equipment than what we saw, or what we expected. Super unfortunate for us. We definitely cannot use all 4 cards in this hand. In fact, we're gonna not use 2 of them. We can still swing 8, and have the Channel Lake Frigid as, you know, like a backup. Try to shut down their giant 9 rune chant turn. I'd expect them to just take this, because they probably think they're going to have a big turn with 5 cards and 9 chants. And we're happy about that, right? It's just 7 free damage. Yep, nailed it. Oh man, why couldn't we have had this hand last turn? It's crazy what 1 E-Strike will do to fix your hand efficiency. Maybe our opponent just makes a bunch of rune chants again. Awkwardly, still no ice. CLF is just dying inside in our arsenal. Our opponent seems unsure about what they're doing this turn. Of course, it may be my apartment's terrible internet. Hopefully it's not. Let's just refresh, because sometimes that helps with priority hiccups. They are choosing to go off. This might be a turn where we have to play the Channel Lake to just like not leak 20 damage, even though it won't stay on our turn. Then we would be having a blue brain freeze to Arsenal. I don't like any of this. Staring down the barrel of 13, and our opponent still has 4 cards in hand. We can crack back with a 13 of our own off of 3 cards. Nope, off of 4 cards. I can't count. That's not happening. So this is looking like block with 2, send Fighting Spirit, leak a ton of damage. We just can't block out all these rune chants, so we have to stop at some point. It's really unfortunate that we've gone 8 cards, or not 8 cards, 6 cards now with no ice. Yep, this is a instant Rattlebones. They're going to be up to 2 AP. What are they getting? Meet and greet makes sense. Can't really afford to block it either. Let's see. We could like block 2, pitching, have 2 floating. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 block value. 8 if you consider the meet and greet on hit. But also we could just, you know, send this for 8 offensively and it's the same value proposition. So I kind of just want to let this hit. Honestly, that turn was not as bad as it could have been. Clearly painful, but I expected to be sub 20, and it looks like we're going to be just there. Oh, this might be OTK Viserai. Look at that, folks. That is not a card I see most Viserais playing. Yeah, honestly not the end of the world. Our opponent had a 5-card hand and 9 rune chance uninterrupted, and we're still only 11 life down. Not even that much anymore. Okay, finally drew an ice card. We get to play the Channel 8 Frigid. So this is like pitch Bros to play CLF. On our turn, play Wounded Bull, pitch in Frost Hex, Arsenal Amulet of Ice. I like it. Also have 1 floating. They're gonna draw Swarming, and then they just play Read the Runes. Huh. I would like to get 3 free damage. This is definitely a Viserai deck more centered around setup than what I was expecting. We are 2 points lower though. So this Wounded Bull is pretty good. Oh, it's a disappointing hand of do nothing. I think they forgot that Channel 8 was still out. Alright, Looming Doom for 8 damage, question mark? Like 4 counters equals 8 arcane over the course of the game. Opponent has no resources. So on our turn we can play Blue Bolt, pitching Blue Bolt, plus Moon, pitching Hypo, keep the current Channel Lake out. Or we can just have our opponent concede. That was interesting. Cool. I didn't time out there, right? Weird. Maybe they were just dissatisfied with the deck performance. I'm not sure. We're going to count that one as a win. I feel like we were well on the way. Let's go again. See if there's any updates on Talishar login issues. Hey, there's a new hero. Alright, this one I'm really excited about because I loved the explanation that Michael gave on the Manor podcast about the inclusion of the Ironheart Gauntlet specifically to stop those snatches. Because I think, like many other people, I looked at this list after Worlds and was like, what is this gauntlet doing? Hello. When Ironhide is already in the list, I think it makes a lot of sense when you put down the reasoning on paper, and it might just make my 80 going into the ProQuest season. Because this matchup can be rough. Really, you miss like a turn or two of disruption, and Fi just can completely run away with the game. So denying them an extra card off of that snatch, always very relevant. As far as sideboarding goes, can hear about it more on the podcast, but I think it makes a lot of sense. There's no hex killing against Fi ever. Like, the matchup is way too fast. These don't block, and they don't disrupt. They're just slow all around. And Fi has too much natural go again for Hypo to really make an impact. So I think all these cuts make a ton of sense. I'm not super high on sync, because it's like basically just mounting anger. But I think that there are like better cuts to make essentially, and so it's fine to keep sync in. Everything else I think makes a lot of sense. All of the really efficient attack actions, because essentially racing them down to the bottom is the name of the game. Blue Bros, this is one of the matchups I like it best in, because without the gauntlet, it's just another outlet to like spend spare resources, especially for blocking. I think the rest of the deck kind of explains itself. This is a matchup I think I am the most... This is the matchup I think I'm most anticipating being hard in ProQuest 3. A lot of dedicated testing going on locally, or is being planned at least. Oh, we're ready to start. And I'm not sure that there really is any innovation to be had. It's mostly just like reps at this point. This is an awkward opener. Hopefully they let us filter a bit. If they don't, it's going to look like Wounded Bull pitching 2 Ice Veins, Arsenal Polar Blast. They are going to let us filter. I think we're still ditching the Ice Veins. Definitely this yellow one, because it's the worst card in the hand. Coming in for one, huh? Is this just gonna be throw their entire hand at me kind of thing, or what? Let's keep our most impactful red, I guess. They are just trying to throw their whole hand at me. So late 4, turn 0. I guess I was supposed to let the blue lava vein go, but I was mostly anticipating them to just like pass at some point and not put their whole hand down in the arsenal. Kind of surprises me. Sand is fine. I don't think there's a lot of choice on what it does. We're gonna play this Fighting Spirit and Arsenal of the Blue Ice Vein. It's our only real source of disruption and our only way to use all of our cards. We're just gonna overpitch to the Fighting Spirit. Because there's no ice card, so we can't fuse this Ice Vein. Otherwise, we would be preferring to do that. There probably is an argument for the mass there, huh, Maps? Because there's like guaranteed no disruption. He had only 2 links hit. But yeah, he just could have gotten 6 free off the Shuko, 5 free off the Shuko. Off the links, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Retrospectively, that was a very undisciplined block, putting the red ice vein in front of the blue lava vein loyalty. That was unwise, and I should not have done that. Eating it all. So we're kind of locked into playing this blue ice vein. Not the best card to Arsenal, but it's fine. That's an interesting card to see in Fi. Well, this Ice Vein guaranteed rips a card. I don't think we're blocking out this Flame Wave no matter what. And our opponent is playing a non-zero number of 1 and 2 cost attacks, so they just might not hit it. Oh, I should watch out for the pummel. They're totally representing it, Alex. It's a... Let's try to take them off of it with this Ice Vein. Thinking real hard about what card they want to give up. Hopefully we have messed up their hand quite a bit. That's a pretty good card to take. Our Ice React also deals 3 damage. Yeah, but our Ice React costs 2 cards max, so I feel like the 3 damage is justified. There is no world where we block this out, so it's not worth even trying. Oh my god, they That's not a great card for them to hit. If they have another blue in hand, they can get to Chain Link 4. Sword Flame Lava Burst. This also gets them there, because they could pay 1 to flame and then play the Lava Burst, but we happen to have a Blizzard in hand. This Blizzard basically stopping 7 damage between the burst and the Phoenix Flame seems good. It's trying to make our next turn extremely awkward. We're taking 3 here. Then we're just sending Scar, Arsenaling, Fighting Spirit. But our opponent is only going to have 4 cards. Hopefully their next turn. This has just been weird hands of like not being able to Arsenal real disruption. Kind of got off to a funky start. Blocking with that Polar Blast turn 0 and haven't seen a real ice card since. We've seen a real ice card. We haven't seen a good ice non-attack to Arsenal. Insidious doesn't really count when our opponent is pushing so hard with damage. We go down to 3 cards. They go down to 3 cards. Pretty happy to Arsenal this Fighting Spirit. Oh, are they trying to E-Strike for 7? Nice. We are A-okay with that. We're looking at blocking 7 between the Sink and the yellow Ice Vein. I think we don't want to get greedy on the Sink. Nah, let's get greedy on the Sink. This is not the most impactful Arsenal card for us to have. Like, it's 5 damage into Frostbite. Maybe that's fine. Actually, that's fine. We're not gonna sink anything on the Sink below. Because we're basically in race mode right now. As racing as we can with, 1 attack for 7. Racing relative to Icelander's perspective. This is a fast game, man. Doesn't pales in comparison to the Dash versus 5 we were playing last night. Like, we're already at turn 4 and no one's sub 10, so it's a different pace of play. Opponent thinking about blocks here, or they just don't realize they have priority. I don't know, maybe they drew a brick hand. It can happen. It's very rare to happen, but it can happen. Unfortunately, no blocks. I'm almost happier when I do see if I block, because it means that I don't have to be as afraid of their next turn. This is another hand that doesn't... Oh, thank you for the reminder, Alex. Alright, so we at least get to make them pitch a real card before they belittle. Don't really love Ice Bolt right now. So we're pitching Ice Bolt here because I'm worried we're going to need to block 4 on the Brothers in Arms. If we don't, we confuse the Blue Ice Vein. But that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be like block with Brothers, swing Moon, our turn Coronet, because I just gave up the Tunic counter, and then Arsenal Aether Hail for another card that at least does something in Arsenal. That Frostbite really messes them up, making them pitch a real card. It's interesting because... Alright, they realize they have not played another red card this turn, right? Are they gonna Razor this? That's the only thing I can think of that's like relevant here. We can't block a Razor out anyways. So if they got it, they got it. What are the merits to block my Brothers in Arms here? We can't swing the Ice Vein on our turn. I think we have to call the bluff. This doesn't work like how they want it to work, and I hope they realize that. Artawar can't give that Blaze Dogen because they already played it. Unless they're like big brain and drawing into the Razor. This is very weird playline. We saw that they had a little. I guess that they realized they couldn't reveal to it? No, because they had the Cinderskin Devotion in hand. They can't Tide Flipper this Blaze. I don't understand what's going on here. Thinking really hard about their modes as well. Excuse me. If I play Artawar with next attack, gain go again. Yeah. So they, in fact, did not know how the interaction works. Obviously, they clearly want to give Blaze go again with the Artawar, so I'd rather the game be played out correctly, right? Like, this is casual testing, so definitely letting the rewind go there. Yep. We're going to respond in the same way, just assuming that we don't have the extra game knowledge. Of course, we expect them to do different things at this point. Go again, banish, draw 2. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. The +1/+1 mode tends to be the scariest. They must just have a hand of no Draconic starters, because we've seen Cinderskin, and like we obviously know that they have the Blaze. This could be their Link's turn. Pretty scared. Okay, so we're redoing the Art of War. I am fine to let that resolve. They're banishing Belittle. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Like, they've seen what interaction I have this turn, and they've still got 2 resources. So they have Floating Go again. I wonder if it is still going on the Blaze. It is, okay. So with the knowledge now that this has Go again, and it's been an Art of War pop-off turn, I'm much less inclined to try to hold this Ice Vein. Probably gonna block with Bros here. We can still swing Rain in with Tunic counter. Not doing anything about that one. Unfortunately, at this point, we're just going to be eating a bunch of damage. I imagine this is their Link's turn. They're thinking about it real hard. It just seems like, I don't know, it seems like 6 free damage to me. Unless they already have a snatch or something to end. Nope, they're going for it. Probably... yeah. I was wondering if they were going to go for the Salt. I assume they can play at least one more attack. Plus the Flame. It's not Assault the Wound, so blocking this Flame does nothing for us. We're going to take 1. Oh my god, are they going to Tide Flipper this? Yeah, they are. We might just be dying this turn, guys. Well, now that they have no Arcane Barrier, I guess we'll get our 3 free damage. That does not seem worth giving up your arcane barrier at all. Huh. I mean, we're only 4 life down. We've got guaranteed 5 through next turn with the hail. Pitching a starter. Alright, I don't know what's going on anymore. Sand is sick. We really wish that we had an arcane damage spell to arsenal here. Maybe we'll draw into one with Sink Below. But pitch Heart to play Hail is 6 damage and a Frostbite off of 2 cards. Technically above rate. The fact that it's an instant speed is chef's kiss. Alright, opponent has 4 cards in an E-Pot. And they're already cracking it. They must have like an Art of War or something in Arsenal. Because they very intentionally arsenaled that card last turn. Let's go ahead and give them their Frostbite. We're not incentivized to sandbag this at all because they have no arcane barrier. We'll see what the rest of the turn holds. Alright, they've got a Belittle, got a Red Brand, Unknown. This one, there's no on hits, it's just 3. None of our cards actually blocked 3. I'm okay with taking this. The issue is that without an arcane arsenal, we can't kill them from 12 next turn. We really need to like, oh, I love to see it. That's a good use of a Sink Below. So like, we really want to draw 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to draw a blue Emeritus off of this Sink Below, and a red Aether Ice Vein in our next hand, and Phi is dead. Don't you love it when you sink a card and you draw the exact same card? That's rough. Means that we can't kill this turn cycle, which is really scary, to be honest. But it also looks like we're not dying this turn. So Flame is the last card in our opponent's hand. Nope, they undid that. They haven't played anything to trigger Shuko. Is that last card getting arsenaled? Looks like it is. Hopefully we can really mess with them with this Cold Snap. I really don't like where we are though. Whew. That's a pretty big power card to see them dump in the yard. Can definitely be awkward against Iyslander. Man, where is... Seen 3 out of 5. Yeah, I guess it's not... It's a little unreasonable to be asking to like draw an Iceland in every hand at this point in the game, but I'm worried about surviving this turn. Again, with Frosting as our most impactful card here. Oh god. Not only did they play their arsenal first, so Cold Snap not as relevant here, it's Art of War. Choosing Go again a lot. This is interesting. They have 2 float. Let's get this no block out of our hand. I don't think that the Frostbite now versus later is going to impact this turn much, if at all. This Snatch has Go again from the Art of War. Thank you, Iron Rock Gauntlets, for all of your service. Alright, so we just lose. They had double Art of War. Is there anything we can do here? They're gonna have 3 cards. I think all we can do is die. This is for 5 now. God, I wish Tunic was up. So we have 2 options. We can block with Frosting plus Coronet, or we can block with Brothers in Arms plus Tunic. I'm leaning more towards that. They still have a card, and they get to swing Blade plus Flame. There's no way that we aren't spending this 2 on Brothers this turn. But I think the stream was over the moment they played the second Art Award to draw a card off Snatch. Oh, we're so dead. We also saw 0 channel 8 frigids, which is unfortunate. Now that I think about it. Definitely, I have definitely felt that several times in this matchup, like, or I guess specifically the last 2 turn cycles, I was really wishing that I had more arcane options to draw into. Kind of one of the sacrifices you make playing Wounded Bull and Fandol's Fighting Spirit and Star for Star is that you are restricted on Strider options, which gets more relevant in these like racier matchups. And they got us off the Phoenix Flame. Oh, can they? They don't have 3 chain links, do they? Nope, they don't. So we technically live. We just need them to whiff on like starters, and they need to have, so they need quad red hand and no Draconic starters. Oh, that's a good point, Bryce. I mean, I had to block it out. I was dead if I didn't, but finally find that CLF a little bit too late, and by a little bit I mean a lot too late. We have to block this. Sure. Alright, they got it this time. For now, Max, I've only been playing background music when I am away and muted because I only downloaded like 5 tracks and I don't want to subject y'all to listening to the same thing looping over and over again. I'm gonna try to get like permanent background music for future streams. It's just a time investment thing I need to sit down and do. Oh, I didn't see what they said there at the end. Let's... Oh, we're great on time. We're less than 2 hours in. Let's go again. How are we doing on stream health? Looks good. Awesome. Ooh. Alright, we don't have world champion sideboarding for this one. A little bit more of a fringe matchup. So we're going to get my janky advice. Definitely went Tunic. I like Coronet here. Gauntlet is fine, because we're going to play a lot of instant speed and 2-block, pretty relevant against Dorinthea. CLF's yes, Blizzard's yes, these cards are all great. Don't love this one. Most of our cards cost 1. Just not a lot of hits for Bring Fees to get. Hypo, one of our best cards. Hate Epots. Sync Belows are mandatory. Dory is a very blocking heavy matchup. And we need our blocks to be efficient. I might... God, the temptation to cut Wounding Bolt is really, really high. But I feel like I want to like show off what this deck does, so I kind of want to keep it in. If that's the case, we can kind of cut the Hex plan. You don't really Hex kill Dory anymore. She's too fast, or she applies too much pressure with the glistening steel blades and stuff. And also just like some of those new cards she got in Dynasty, it's too much to just sit back and let her do her thing relatively uninterrupted. So yeah, let's go a little fast again. I prefer, if I have to keep one of these in, I prefer to keep an Ice Eternal in, because it's a fine, like, turn 0 high roll card. Just makes 3 Frostbites. Jubil and Arcane Barrier 3, huh? I have played against Jubil before. I'm terribly unimpressed. Next defense reaction cost 1. Yeah, this is just 1 for +3. The scariest thing about the Dorinthea matchup is the Dawnblade counters. When you take those away, nothing really happens. Like, Dorinthea's damage is way too fair. Like, it's similar to arcane damage rates, right? She pays 1 for 3. Except all of my cards, and most of my cards, block 3 against her. And most of her cards block, like, 1.5 against me, because she has to play a bunch of reds to be damage efficient. So my arcane damage just ends up, like, being harder for her to block than she is for me to block. And without those Dawnblade on hits, I think the matchup is pretty miserable for Dorinthea, but we'll see. So it's like a really simple turn. We're going to E-Strike into Coronet and Arsenal Channel Lake Frigid. Oh man, is that too... Oh, I see. Playing Ironsong Pride on my turn because it's an instant. That's cool. That's it's pretty sweet. I have a new question. Do we care? So there's a twinning blade. We can stop whatever this card is from being played if we react right now by playing the CLF. We would like pitch Emeritus. On our turn, Scar into Coronet again. Arsenal here. We'll let this hit, but it's like 5 damage. I don't know. 5's a lot. We have 1 float, and we can't really swing moon this turn. There's an argument to like block like this, and on our turn, Scar Coronet, no Arsenal. It blinks their Ironsong Pride, it stops the Spell Void, it keeps CLF. Slows him down for another turn. Will we find something real to do? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to have the Cold Snap in Arsenal. So this is going to be a big damage swing, but I'm not sure what else we're doing here. I chose not to Arsenal. Huh. I think Steelblade Shunt is just a bold card to have in this matchup. Pretty light on blues here. At the very least we can send E-Strike bottom Spirit. Depends on what they do on their turn, obviously. We'd like to dig for another ice card, so let's start off by doing that. I'm not sure that we really care about the sigil, to be honest. Awkward. Really awkward, actually. Alright, we've got to erase this Iron Sun Pride at some point, so I think we're going to do it right now. No way to keep CLF out. What this might be is a double Fighting Spirit block, which is like 6 on 4, which is the sweetest thing ever. Because of CLF, we don't have to worry about this as a reaction. On our turn, E-Strike draw. Hopefully the Arsenal card is good. Don't really have a lot of bad hits. We get to gain 2 life off of this, it's so sweet. And we also get to cheat a moon in here. They give up their Spell Void and a Red Warrior's Valor. Please let it be a good draw. Yeah, it's a pretty good draw. Opponent snaps eat it. Snap eats it is interesting. We're just going to negate their Tunic counter. Probably blocking with E-Strike here to send Ice Vein, Arsenal Ice Bolts. They clearly think they're going to be doing a lot this turn. Normally I'm not high on Arsenal Ice Bolt, but we've got Tunic up. Sure. Don't really care about Out for Blood here. It's just +3 damage. Do they have the spare blue? Have an Arena's Prayer. Well, they're going to be really sad that they spent that now, because they're going to have an Ice Vein coming next turn. I don't know if I like that card against us. It's an interesting choice, for sure. Favorite card in the game, Aether Ice Vein. Alright, so they pitched a blue. They only leaked one after this Spell Void. But now they only have 2 cards, and we're going to push 6 on their turn. So we're going to win this turn cycle damage-wise and be really happy. Ooh, yes. This is sweet. Don't even care about getting this chill down at this point. They lost 3. Okay, so they're clearly going to play a reaction here. Or not. I guess we were supposed to put Moon before. I did see the reply to my tweet about Ice Vein was my favorite card. I didn't have a chance to respond because I just went into the stream. I don't think Ice Vein is banned in Blitz because it's overrate. I think Ice Vein is banned in Blitz because... God. I really gotta start paying attention to life totals more. Completely slipped my mind that this star does not have go again because we're higher than our opponent. That's awkward on my part. Our opponent has 5. Yeah, I think we're just, Man, suffering from success. This card's not supposed to not have Goadin in this deck. I think they're really likely to just eat this if we send it at them. I think Ice Vein is banned in Blitz because Iyslander is way too tuned for Blitz, but who cares, it's not a real format. I say to myself after it was in Worlds, we're gonna play this Ice Vein, clearly. Not super interested in getting this amulet down, I guess. Okay. All the sigils, but that also means that, like, there's no follow-up for Jubil. So Jubil is now just 4 power. You just spell void 1 token on hit. I really don't care about that. Tunica's not in love with arsenaling this bolt. Maybe we can. Our opponent only has 4 cards, they're about to be down to 3. They've shown that they like pitching to stop Ice Vein damage. So maybe this is just another opportunity for us to push more damage. This is definitely a greedy play I'm taking here, but if we expect them to do that again, then it's pretty favorable for us. We're gonna let them resolve this Tunic. This hand's a bit awkward. Ideally we want to like play Bull, Arsenal Bull, because that's the only way we can use both. which means this is our only block, because we just don't have anything else to spend the resources on. Weird. Oh, that was a mistake. We're supposed to not let the Spellbane Aegis resolve first. This fringe decks got me messy just because I forget how they work. So they're just going to yoink a blue here. Yep. Can't do anything about that. Really wish we had a blue damage spell to Arsenal to complement this Wounded Bull. So we're locked into playing the Bull without trying to Providence to evacuate it. Arsenal Polar Blast is our next best option. We're trying to hope that they have a run through, or they're just passing. Alright, I'm officially getting weirded out. This is a fun way to use every card in this hand. They may be like trying to fatigue us, which is scary because I took out our hexes. Ooh. Gotta make every play count. Alright, well we've got Dominate, so we're getting 5 through here. 4 through here. That is not insignificant. Or they're just eating it all. Okay. We have to Arsenal another bad card. Like, the card is good, but this Blizzard might come in clutch here. Dominate's fine. Probably wasn't blocking it out anyways. I imagine we're going to play this Blizzard. So then we get to play the Fighting Spirit, Pitch Bros, Arsenal Emeritus, which is not the best Arsenal, but like opponent's getting low, and it's an Arsenal that does something. The run through was an Arsenal, so the Blizzard probably doesn't do anything, unfortunately. We still gotta do it. Just strips their card of hand. Strips their hand of at least a card. And the Jubio doesn't have it on hit right now because they already have a Spellbane Aegis. They did pay Pitch and Singing. I'm happy about that. Oh man, even after the 6 damage, we still don't turn on the life gain from Fighting Spirit. Really suffering for success this game. Our opponent has no arsenal. And this is 7. We're going to really present a lot of damage this turn cycle. Be interesting to see if they block and we push Arcane on their turn, or if they don't block and we get free physical right now. Sounds like they're going to 9, which means that they are now in lethal range for this Emeritus. I was not expecting that, to be honest. All red ice veins are in the yard. Do we have a second yellow? There's 1 yellow left in the deck. We did not draw it here. Yeah, we're gonna let them have that tunic counter. We actually want to get below 9 because sending Star Bull is really good here. That's all they got. That puts us at 11. So since we can't go low enough for Star to work this turn, we might as well just block efficiently. And I think in fact we are going to sink the Scar. It's a blue 3 block, it's fine. Whoa, hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we can't kill them. Ugh, brutal. Also, ironically, if we had not sunk, we now would be lower and Star would be on, but there's no way to know that he had the sigil. We're still gonna throw 7 at them. They really need to block this. Or else they kinda just die. Okay, they can shunt, that's fine. Ooh, we drew the yellow ice vein. We needed them to completely tap out. Can't tap it. No, they have Spellbane Aegis. We can't kill them this turn. We can get damn close, but we can't kill them this turn. So kind of a funny spot that we're in. If we just take this, so if we just take this they don't really do anything, right? They just pass with 2 resources and a card to arsenal and a Spelljamp Bane Aegis. This is inconvenient because it means that this Ice Vein won't hit with the AB3 if we just hold it for our turn. But also we can only threaten 11 here. Tunic isn't up, which means that we can't Emeritus off of 1 blue, Emeritus Moon off of 1 blue. That's the really inconvenient part. What I think is going to happen here is we're not going to Coronet again this game. So I want to block with Chill Coronet. On our turn, we're going to play the yellow Ice Vein and send Moon. Then Tunic will be up, and we'll be able to Scolding them on their turn, and like at least push damage through, right? This also has the bonus of erasing the counter on Jubil. Yep, and they're just going to go to Arsenal with 5 cards. But this eats a blue. Oh my god, or they let it hit. That's so wrong. Because now I eat 2 cards. Yeah. They just must not have a blue in this hand. Oh, that's really rough for them. And we need to sink and draw blue because this hand is so light on resources. It's really unfortunate, actually. Alright, we got 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to do the full 10. Oh my god. We don't get there. So when I say we don't get there, we don't get to kill this turn, right? We're still pushing damage. They might have that last Sigil of Solace in Arsenal, which would be interesting. Nope, they've played all 3. We don't have a productive play for our turn. So if we get to Arsenal the blue Ice Vein, how many Scoldings we have left? Should still be 2. I remember that I pitched the first 2. So we're gonna play a Hypothermia, I guess, because the hand literally doesn't do anything else. Alright, we can try to kill here. Please go ahead and spend your Tunic. Dominate is fine. Honestly, we don't care about blocking this either because we can use every card in our hand. Alright, so now they have 2 resources, 2 cards remaining, up to 6 resources. We can present 9, so we win. Let's see if they try to play any more reactions, I suppose. No. Okay, so we need to go off before the hit counter. It's pretty important, so let's start going. Pitch Fuse at you. Guarantees takes a blue. There's the blue. And then we will Strider in. This blue Ice Bolt. opponent looking if they have any way to survive this. I don't think they do, spoiler alert. Oh, are we really disconnecting? What a time to get internet issues. Hey, we may be having Talishar issues. I needed to take a restroom break anyways, so let's say that we'll be right back. Oh, did Talishar like crash? Oh no. I'll be right back, and then we'll see if we can get one more game in. Okay, so some weird things happened while I was away. Uh, Talishar is back, and not only is it back, we're logged back in again. Woo! So we can actually play a game of competitive CC to round out the night. Let's definitely do that. Yeah, Max Ditto. So let's try to get one more quality game in before I call it a night. We're up there at around 2.5 hours of stream time. Let's see what we get. This has been a roller coaster of the stream. The game quality has been all over the place. The internet quality has been all over the place. But deck is undeniably powerful, and I will definitely be playing it more in the future. I just need to remember that, you know, star for star doesn't have grow again if you're higher. Taking a hot minute to get an opponent. Let me double check. Maybe need to lower the karma requirements. Oh. Or I had selected private, which would explain why no one was joining. That's probably the more reasonable solution as to why that was taking so long. Okay. Round out the night with the Mind Melter Mirror. Have I won a die roll tonight, by the way? I'm pretty sure every time my opponent is choosing, he's going first or second. Oh, hey Xenoliner, what's up? I cannot wait to get destroyed by you. Starting the game with 2 frostbites, it looks like. That's pretty good. Alright, the only rule, Xeno, is that you're not allowed to watch the stream as you play. It'd be super unfair if you could see my hand, but I can't see yours. Kind of awkward. I think this hand only really does one thing, which is it sends Wounded Bull, and it tries to Arsenal Chill because it's such an important tempo card. And that importantly leaves us 1 resource floating, so that we can get an Illuvian counter if Xeno throws Arcane at us. Cold Snap. You know what? I'm inclined to not pay for this. I don't have any allies or an arsenal. Ooh, oh, that's right. Xeno is on the weird list. So for those of you that don't frequent the Iyslander chat in the big Discord, Xeno has been playing around with kind of a mix of Bully and Boomer. So still some of the tall red arcane, but also playing like Red Emeritus Scolding, but also playing like Wounded Bull and stuff. It's a really interesting mix of reds. I think it cuts into her blue count a bit. Instead, no Waning Moon there. That makes sense. Don't give me the free Illuvian counter. Hey, I've seen that move before. I think I'm going to do it as well. So we both get to chill down on the board. Except with no arsenal, I'm very safe to play this E-Strike for 7. Arsenal the Cold Snap, and feel pretty good about the turn cycle. I'm still not sold on Norrin Hood in the Iyslander Mirror. Michael plays it, so we're going to try it out, but I don't think I've expressed why on video yet, so let me give a breakdown of that, on why I prefer Coronet Peaker, in particular Crown of Providence. Norrin Hood is Arcane Barrier 5, right? You have 4 between Stormstriders, Constellus, and Metacarpus Node. There is only one card in modern Iyslander decks, most modern Iyslander decks, that presents 5 arcane damage, red Aether Icebane. Only boomers are playing red bolts anymore, myself included. And that's it. That's the only other like potential 5 arcane card. So what is that 5th point of Arcane Barrier getting you in the matchup? Well, it's getting you 3 points of life, essentially, when your opponent plays their 3 red Ice Veins. This is a very early Channel Lake. Let's try to dig into something more impactful. But so that's block 3, essentially, on Northern Hood, right? Well, Coronet Peak and Crown of Providence block... Oh, wow, we got double hex already. Block 2. So that block 2 versus block 3 essentially is like, is a deck slot worth +1 life in the mirror? I'm not sure that it is. Especially considering that, like, on those... if we moon here, we push 2 damage, but give an Alluvian counter. Don't really want to be giving those yet when we're about to get 2 hexes down. Also, though, it just seems like a waste of damage if we don't. Let's be greedy. Like, if you want to use the AB5, you have to pitch 2 blues, right? Alternatively, though, you could, with AB4, pitch 2 blues on those red Ice Veins, AB4 and pay 2. So I don't think that, like, essentially +1 life in the mirror is worth the deck slot. And honestly, I don't respect Kano enough to think I need AB5 there. Oh my god, we're just mirroring each other. We played chills on the same turn. We're playing hexes on the same turn. Really needs to stop copying me. So honestly, I'm happy about getting the Frostbite there, because it means that I'm going to charge my Alluvian. AB5 into Kano is nice. I'm just not sure how much Kano I'm going to see in ProQuest season. Channel Lake is going away, but it's here for now. Conversely, I have my own Channel Lake. Yeah, that's fair, Mirage. Kano's probably going to be on the uptick, but... This is block 8. Play Hex on my turn. Arsenal Channel. Would love to get the Hex down here, but Channel Lake Frigid is being annoying. Alright, we're the first to hit 2 hexes. We have a 5-point life lead. And we have an Arsenal, which is a Channel Lake Frigid. This feels pretty good. Ooh, and we have a red Ice Vein. Honestly, we may just start a life parity here. Blocking with E-Strike. Because we can't play the CLF now and play the Ice Vein on our turn. And once we play that Ice Vein, we're just going to have tempo for the foreseeable future, because it's going to take 2 cards guaranteed. So I'm kind of happy to block just 3 here, because we're not going to be 30 all for very long. This also gives us a CLF relatively early in the second cycle. I'm not sure that we're going to hit second cycle with how fast this board state is developing. Still nice to have, though. We're just developing board state at the exact same speed, huh? Yeah, I'm fine with letting this Hex Frostbite happen, because I'm going to pitch my Channel Lake Frigid to Waning Moon to break it. But I want to let this Ice Vein resolve first. There's that spicy tech. And we deny the 3rd Frost Hex. That is huge. Absolutely huge. So we push 1 here. Sure, that's fine. I can't stop any of it. On Xeno's turn, we're going to push 5 between our moon plus our Channel 8 Frigid, unless we draw something better to do. But the fact that Xeno's out of cards and has no arsenal just completely shields down is pretty brutal. Yeah, so we're going to play Channel 8, pitching Brain Freeze. On our turn, that lets us play Bull, pitching. We have 2 ice cards to choose from. We've only seen 1 red Ice Vein, and we pitched a yellow, I believe. Second Chills can be game winning. Cold Snap, pretty mediocre. We're just going to keep rolling on the tempo train. We get to present the 7 safely. With no arsenal, Xeno can't really do... Oh, love to see the block with the CLF. Can't really do a lot at instant speed unless she wants to crack Striders. There's the 3rd chill. There's also the Ice Eternal, which is kind of tempting. We've got 2 Hexes out already. We also can just tuck this Ice Eternal on the 2nd cycle if we like. Play the chill now, pitching chill. Wand with Brothers in Arms. So we're presenting 5 arcane damage. 3 is going to go through. On our turn, E-Strike, draw a card, bottoming Ice Eternal. Xeno once again has no arsenal to mess with us on our turn. We can't keep Channel Lake is the real disappointment. So this is for sure happening. And we've presented arcane damage this turn, so we might as well swing Waning Moon, is how I'm looking at it. Hope this is a good draw. We're running out of bad draws. That's a great draw. Establishing a first energy potion is really important, especially when we have a game state like this, where we're getting really close to just Ice Eternal killing our opponent. Oh, this is going to be brutal. So let's clear this out of the way. We want to arsenal the blue Ice Vein here. It lets us rip all of our opponent's cards on her turn. We want to pay. We're just going to give 2 blues to this. AB4 plus pay 2. Obviously getting the no block out of our hand. And then we'll dump the E-pot as well. Not super interested in it after the first one. Like, it's really good, but we need to arrest tempo back. Actually, that's wrong. We'll throw the Scolding in, because we're not looking to kill with that right now. And we've played a non-attack, and we have 2 counters on Constellus, so we actually get to push that this turn as well. And now here's what's important. We are not going to play this energy potion. It's incredibly tempting, but we're just going to move to pass the turn because it lets us have the E-pot as like insulation against arcane damage, especially if Xeno presents something that looks like a hand strip effect. This Polar Blast is pretty good. It's 5 arcane damage when we have 2 hexes. Obviously not going to pay for it. Is the wand also coming down is the next question. Yes, it is. We will simply AB3 and leak 2 damage from the frostbites. Ooh, alright. Here is a place where I like arsenaling the Ice Eternal a lot. Except opponent has red Ice Vein. Alright, this is not the end of the world. We play our Ice Vein. That takes the cards out of opponent's hand. What was revealed? Blue Cold Snap. And then we just pay 2, pay 2. And then we can arsenal the Ice Eternal. and get close to killing opponent. Alright, let's start with the obvious. We're going to present a blue Ice Vein and fuse it. Which means that there's no arsenal for Xeno this turn cycle. A bit of a chill waste. And that we only really needed one, but they're mandatory. You can't just Alright, so now on their chill we will discard Fighting Spirit. On the Ice Vein, we'll AB1 pay 2. And that gave us our second Constellus counter, so we can actually get 3 free arcane damage in right here. And then we should be able to muster up 13 damage with an Ice Eternal and 2 Frost Hexes. We may not get exactly there, but it'll be close enough. Yeah, I don't care if I take 2 here. That is A-okay with me. It'll be close enough that Xeno will then just die to whatever Stormstrider shenanigans we have available to us. Alright, forget what I said last turn about holding a blue when we went to Arsenal a different card. Xeno has no Arsenal, so it'd have to be Striders if anything were to happen here. Yeah, so we get to present 15 arcane damage here. 18 actually. I don't see a way where we don't win. Let's see what happens. Alright. Cracky pot. We're locking it in. Paying 10. Fusing with Ice Bolt, and we have 2 chill triggers which are guaranteed to eat the cards, or eat a card plus Epot, also fine. There's Epot. So Xeno will have 1 card left in hand after these chills resolve. 4 resources available, representing 15, 18, minus 4 is 14 damage over 13. I think we still have confirmed lethal. Alright, at 12, 10 will come from Frostbites, 3 coming now from Waning Moon. Yeah, that was a pretty, feel like I was in control most of that game. I just got the chill down first, and after that first trigger, like, I made sure to, should have let the bites resolve. Oh, I see what. So, did you have a way to break them, Zeno? Because the chills would have gone off before the bites. We're just taking this, by the way, because Zeno dies into turn. Um, I'm not sure. Good game. Yeah, I think after I got that first showdown and triggered it, kind of just stayed in control the entire game. Um, I feel like the major turning point of that game was when I arsenaled the blue. Um, Arsenal the blue ice vein was so important because it let me push damage on opponent's turn and deny them their arsenal. So like I locked in that I was going to be in control that turn cycle following. And when we were so low life, that meant that like the kill was starting to be attainable. Yeah, I think there was no way out of that one. Maybe I missed it. Like I don't know what was in opponent's hand, obviously, but that was a good game. I think it was a good example of the Iyslander mirror. I'm sad that we didn't get to see Red Emeritus go off. We saw it pitched, but not played. Um, Still a really cool deck. I don't think we've played before, Zeno. That was nice to get a game in against you. That being said, we are just about at 3 hours. We're exactly 3 hours. Um, yeah, sorry that that was a little bit of a roller coaster, guys. I wasn't expecting Talishar issues tonight. Uh, it happens. Like it's a fan-made project. It is still an incredible tool, and I'm very grateful for it. Shout out to Jotrick and OOT the Monk for making this. I hope y'all had fun. I will definitely be playing Bully more in the future. Uh, like I said, deck's great. Clearly, right? Like it's a world championship deck for a reason. And I hope that y'all are having fun as we all kind of prepare together for ProQuest Season 3. I'm going to get a little bit of testing in behind closed doors, but we'll still be hanging out together, hopefully weekly. I think 1 to 2 streams a week is what I'm aiming for at this point. I know I took a little bit of a break, but I was having to deal with some work stuff that I needed to catch up on before the holiday season. So thank y'all for hanging out with me. I will catch you again later. Now that I think about it, I need to come up with a sign off and sign on like catchphrases. We're gonna have to brainstorm those. In the meantime, before next stream, I will catch y'all later. See ya. Oh. I did not have the music ready to go.